Looking back on the week that was and forward to the week ahead. It's the Fantasy Football Hustle. Here are your hosts, Brian Drake and Dwain McFarland.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Brian Drake, Dwain McFarland, Fantasy Football Hustle. How's it going? We're going to talk a little Week 2 instant analysis. Something new for you folks out there following us on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button. And we'd love to hear some comments from you guys. Players you want to hear us talk about, thoughts on these games, and we'll get to them on our big Tuesday show that you always hear at 9 o'clock Eastern. So, Dwain, let's start off. This show is going to be Falcons, Cowboys. You're a Cowboys fan. You had to be thinking the boys are in for a long day after they started out just getting their doors blown off by the Falcons, and then crazy things happen. Atlanta can't hold the lead, an insane onside kick, and the Cowboys end up recovering, kicking a field goal and winning, but we're here to talk fantasy. So let's get a little instant analysis. Who's up, who's down on the Dallas Cowboys? And I think the arrow can't be much higher on Dak Prescott, besides the fact that he threw for 1 and ran in 3. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I think the quick takeaway is the Cowboys are trying to use analytics. They may not use it for their first down pass ratio, but, they're trying not to punt. They're trying these fake punts. They're not kicking field goals, a lot of the times. They're going for 2. They're doing all these things that basically the data says. They just haven't fine-tuned everything. So when you think about Dak Prescott, right, one of the things with analytics is, hey, you should use the quarterback sneak more. You should use the quick, snap quarterback sneak more. Tom Brady showed us that for years. So Prescott today, got some touchdowns that normally would have went to Zeke. Some of that could have been because you've got your 2 tackles missing from the game. So Prescott, yes, he saved you today. The passing performance wasn't bad. He gave you 450 yards, but, no touchdowns passing. 1 touchdown passing, which was to Dalton Schultz, but he saved you with the 3 rushing touchdowns. So, that keeps Dak in the top 5 conversation. As far as the running game goes, there's really nothing to talk about with Zeke. Zeke's he's a beast. He's still doing his thing. He just lost 3 touchdowns today, to Dak. One of them, got called back. So he nearly had 2. The thing I would say, the biggest thing, Drake, is CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Dalton Schultz. Those 3 guys led the team. Schultz had 10 targets. Cooper had 9. Lamb had 9. Gallup had 5. So the things that I talked about in the preseason that I was worried about with Gallup, I think they're kind of coming to fruition. We're still early, we're still early in the season, but when you have CeeDee Lamb lined up against the 3rd best corner on the team, and they're moving Amari Cooper around and protecting him, and that leaves Gallup out there to a lot of times take on the best corner on the other team, or at least the 2nd best corner. And I think we're seeing what's happening. Dak was even going to Dalton Schultz, today. So Schultz had 9 catches for 88 yards. Amari Cooper had 6 for 100. Oh, nice to meet my dogs. 6 for 106 with CeeDee Lamb. So I think stock up definitely for CeeDee Lamb.
Dalton Schultz, is he somebody who you could think you will be able to stream going forward, or is this kind of an aberration here? Just you'll never see this again from Dalton Schultz?
I think you have to consider it. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to trust him, but he's definitely worth a pickup. We'll talk about him more on the waiver wire show.
All right, Zeke also getting in 6 receptions, 33 yards. Didn't score that way. Let's flip it over to the Falcons.
Zeke's that's a good point, Drake. Zeke's very involved in the passing game. That's 2 games in a row where he's been involved in the passing game. The other thing I'll say just real quickly on Lamb, he was on the field for 41 of Dak Prescott's 49 dropbacks. Gallup 45 of 49, Amari Cooper 47 of 49. So Gallup is still seeing the field slightly more than Lamb, and Amari Cooper still seeing it more than either of the other guys. But when Lamb's out there, he's getting the targets.
So we're not dropping any Cowboys here. We might just say, hey, be careful with Michael Gallup. Everybody else, full systems go. In Atlanta, Matt Ryan, boy, he's an every week starter. You probably got him super late in your leagues. He is just going to be putting the ball up over and over and over again. 24 of 36, 273 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This defense is a sieve, and they can't hold the lead, so he's going to throw it left and right. In the backfield, though, Dwain, boy, Todd Gurley, what happened? 21 rushes for 61 yards?
Yeah, he really I would have thought he would have eaten, against the Cowboys, seeing what Malcolm Brown did to them on the inside last week. I think the thing with Gurley, right, is, the 21 carries we're happy with, but he had 0 targets, Drake. So it's like, how do you trust this guy? What is his floor really? And then there was a carry inside the 5 where Ito Smith, their smallest guy, was out there on a first down inside the 5-yard line. And then, Todd Gurley comes in after that. And look, they're not passing to the backs. They're throwing the ball down the field. If we look at the receiving today for the backs, Brian Hill had 2 targets, 2 catches for 11 yards. Keith Smith, the fullback, had 2 targets, but that's it. They're throwing the ball to the receivers, man. 10 targets to Ridley, 8 to Hurst, 9 to Gage, 4 to Julio. I think the thing we're going to see here, Drake, is each week there's going to be there's somebody left out, right? Mm-hmm. Last week, Ridley and Julio both went off, Gage went off, and Hurst was left out. This week, it's Ridley, Hurst, and Gage going off, and it was Julio that was left out with only 4 targets and 2 receptions. So you just got to start these guys, but you're going to occasionally run into a week where it's not going to work out because they have so many guys that they could distribute the ball to.
Boy, Kelvin Ridley's a monster. 7 receptions for 109 and 2 touchdowns on 10 targets. He's never getting the top corner coverage, and he really should have had another touchdown here. And I think coming into the week, he was tied for the NFL lead in end zone targets, and I probably don't see that going down anytime soon. And Russell Gage, every week play at this point now, if you picked him up, easy wide receiver 3 for you.
If you redrafted today, that's the way I always like to think about it. If you redrafted a league today, Calvin Ridley, is probably a 2nd-round pick, right? Most folks would overreact and just take him in the 1st, but he's probably truly worth, a 2nd, early 3rd-round pick. And you're getting him at the end of the 3rd, a lot of times sliding into the 4th. You're in a smaller league, getting him in the 5th league. So absolute value on Calvin Ridley.
If you had any of these players, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear what you're doing with your Cowboys and your Falcons, or just your general reaction to the game. I know you Dallas fans have to be over the moon, and you Falcons, bros out there, you're reaching for the Johnny Walker right about now. So leave a comment for us there on YouTube, and we'll maybe get to it on Tuesday. That'll do it for this quick breakdown of the game. We'll be back with more games as we go throughout the night. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and don't miss any of our broadcasts all throughout the night. It's for Dwain. I'm Drake. We'll be back in a few with the next game.